Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing another foundation first impressions, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of late on doing this specific foundation because I know it's been done a few times here on YouTube, but I finally found it in a Walmart near me, so I decided to pick it up and give it a try. And that is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. So here's basically what the packaging looks like. I have never tried, at least to my knowledge, from what I can remember, I have never tried a Milani makeup product. I've heard a lot of mixed things about this foundation in particular, so I figured I would give it a try on my channel today just to try something new for you guys. So yeah, we're just gonna see how this works. So basically, here's what the packaging looks like. This is a drugstore foundation, so it is pretty easy to find. I'm sure you can find it online. I found mine in Walmart. I can't remember off the top of my head how much it was. I wanna say maybe between $7 to $10, so nothing too crazy. And basically what this is supposed to do is, this is, like it says, it's supposed to be a foundation and a concealer in one. So it's supposed to conceal your blemishes and give you that foundation, like, perfect skin look. So the shade that I got is 03, which is light beige. Again, I don't know how it's gonna match. We are in the middle of winter where I am at, so I am a lot more pale than I usually am in the summertime. So hopefully this shade is a pretty good match. Like I said, I don't 100% know. One thing that I do hate about the packaging right off the bat is that it's not sealed. As you can see, there's no plastic covering over the cap or anything. This is exactly how I bought it, and I have not used it yet at all. I haven't even swatched it or looked at it, but I do wish that it was a little bit more, you know, secure, because I don't know if anyone else like put their fingers on this or anything like that. So if I get any like sort of weird creepy diseases or breakouts, then I know it's because of the packaging on this. On the back it says medium to full coverage foundation, which is good. It's supposed to be lightweight, oil-free formula, which is also good because I do have oily skin. Long wearing, water resistant, and sweat proof. Basically, my skin is in pretty good shape. Like, it hasn't been too bad lately. Like, I just have a few like minor breakouts and whatnot, like on my cheeks, but that's just to be expected. That's just how my skin is. I don't have anything on my face right now, just a little bit of moisturizer that I put on this morning because I need that SPF and that moisture, especially for winter time. So yeah, again, here's the packaging, and when you take the cap off, it has a pump top, which I do really like. That's like a perfect foundation to me if it has something that I can pump. And as you can see, like I said, I have not used this at all before, but as you can see, there's a little bit of foundation right there on the opening. So that makes me a little worrisome that someone might have like touched this and swatched this in the store, but this was like the only one they had left, and I had to get it because I don't know if I'll ever see this again, because for some reason the stores like around my area, they never have like up-to-date makeup products. So if you see something that you want to try, that's like your one chance to get it, because you don't know when it's gonna come back. Whoa, son, like, Jesus. Today, to buff out my foundation, I am going to be using my beauty blender, which is already damp and ready to go. So I'm gonna give it a few pumps on the top just to see the consistency. Okay, so there's what it looks like. I did 2 pumps on the cap here because you guys know I usually do up to 2 layers to see how buildable it is. Not too much of a smell, just kind of has that typical like foundation smell, nothing too bad. And it does look pretty thick. Like, I'm holding the cap down like this, and it's not really running that quickly. So here is an up-close view of my skin. As you can see, obviously not anything perfect. It does feel really moussey and really thick. So I'm just gonna start dotting this all over the skin, and it went over my eyebrow, oh my gosh. And then we're gonna buff out the first layer, see how it looks, and then just build it up from there. So we are gonna take my beauty blender now and start buffing it in. Alright, so far right off the bat, it blends out absolutely beautifully. I'm not having any issues with it sticking or drying down too quickly. And I'm just giving light pats with the beauty blender. This will definitely match me, like, for sure in the summer months, but winter months it does look to be a little bit orangey, yellowy. But like, that's like a beautiful coverage. Like, and this is just one coat. I didn't put like 2 coats on or anything. I did do 2 pumps instead of just 1, just to see the consistency of it, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But okay, so here's what the first layer looks like all buffed into my skin. It did a beautiful job of covering up all of my discoloration and my redness and blemishes pretty much, like all the really big, like painful red ones. I think it did pretty good, at least for my own liking and things like that. I love the coverage of it. So yeah, really happy with it so far. It blended out really, really nicely. The consistency was thick, but it wasn't hard to blend out. Like, I don't know if you guys could tell, but it was just really easy to blend out. So just to see how buildable it is, if you're one of those people who likes like a full like cake face, like I'm going out to the club coverage, we're gonna do a little bit more in certain areas. Mostly gonna put this where most of my breakouts are and on my cheeks, because that's where I get the most redness and the most blemishes. And then I'm gonna put a little bit underneath my eyes as well, just to hide any dark circles. So here is what the second coat looks like all blended out onto my skin. And again, it did an excellent job of blending out over top of the first coat. It didn't take off any of the first layer that we put on. It went down my neck really well. And it also did a little bit of a better job covering up any other like lingering redness that I have on my face. Another good thing about is when you're using like a thick foundation like this, a beauty blender is a really good option because it will suck up any excess that you don't really need. So as opposed to a brush doesn't really suck up any of the extra, so it can look a little bit more cakey. Here is what the first layer looks like. Looks pretty good. I do need some chapstick though, because my lips are already drying out and I haven't even been talking for 10 minutes yet. Basically what we're gonna do next is just do my powder, bronzer, and brows, and we will see how it wears throughout the day. All right, and here's just a backup view of what the foundation looks like. As you can see, it is a little too dark for me, and I thought light beige would be a good shade, but it looks to be a little dark. Hopefully it doesn't oxidize, because if it starts oxidizing, like this is gonna look real crazy real quick. So, pretty happy with it. It feels a little bit tacky, but nothing too bad, and that's like my thing, is I want my foundation to be like on my skin like pronto. Okay, now we're just gonna do a little bit of powder. I'm gonna be using my e.l.f. High Definition Face Powder. Really like this, but it's really, really messy. So, you know, I wouldn't do this anywhere, you know, too crazy. And I'm gonna be using my Vanity Planet powder brush. I'm just gonna take some of that and set the foundation. Now I'm not swiping, I'm just kind of patting this over top of the foundation. Alright, so again, the powder went on really nicely over the foundation. Next for bronzer, I'm just going to be using my Physicians Formula City Color Bronzer and on just a no-name makeup brush that I like to use for bronzing. Just going to take a little bit of that and put that in my temples. Just to give myself a little bit of color, like that. And next we're going to do some blush. And what blush do I want to use today? I think for blush I'm going to go with this one by Sephora, and this is in Romantic Rose. It's just a really kind of nice simple pink color, and I'm just going to be using this BH Cosmetics brush. Just take a little bit on there. And put that right on the apples. That. Okay, so now that I have the foundation, powder, bronzer, blush, I'm just gonna go and do my eyebrows really quick, and then I will come back and show you what everything looks like as a whole, and we will go ahead and do what we always do, which is just come back throughout the day and do little checkups of how it's doing. And as always, this is always the good brow, and this is always the brow that gets fucked up. So I'm just going to brush them through one more time. Make sure the color is evenly distributed. And there we go. Brows are all done. So I will zoom you guys in and give you a final look. Oh wait, before I do that, I think I'm going to do a little bit of setting spray. So I'm just going to use my MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime. This is the lavender scent that was limited edition. I'm almost out of it and my heart is like breaking because I love this stuff so much. Alright, so here is everything all finished up and my skin looks really, really good. The color's a little bit dark, so I'm a little worried about if it's going to oxidize as the day goes on. That's like my biggest fear at this point, but as far as coverage, feel, look of overall of my entire face, it looks absolutely beautiful and I'm super, super happy with it. So yeah, here is about 1.5, 2 layers of the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation with some bronzer, and here comes the sun. Alright guys, so it is currently 1:15 in the afternoon. I'm getting kind of a late start today. And I will come back in just a couple hours after I film a few more videos and I will give you guys an update on how the foundation is doing and wearing throughout the day and all that good stuff. So yeah, 1:15 now and I will see you guys in a few hours to do my first check-in. Bye! Hey guys, so I'm back to do another quick little check-in on the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. So it was about 1:15 when I put the foundation on and it is currently 4:30. So it's been a little more than 3 hours with the foundation on and it is a little bit on the dark side and I'm happy to say that it hasn't oxidized, so it hasn't gotten any more orange, which is a very good thing. Basically I've just been filming like other videos and things like that and like nothing crazy has been happening. I don't really see where it has worn off anywhere. Like it looks like it's pretty much stayed in place. As far as like oil, I'm not too shiny, but obviously there is a little bit of shine going on. The lighting isn't exactly perfect because the sun is currently setting. Yes, it sets very early in the winter time here, so I kind of have like a light to kind of shine on my face so you guys can see, but hopefully you guys can see all right and you can see how it looks. I still think it looks really good. I think if I were to like go out and be out the rest of the night, I would do like a quick powder touch up, but as far as like coverage and redness and things like that goes, it still looks really good. So I'll just zoom you up in on my face really quick so you guys can kind of see how it's looking about 3 hours later, and then I'll probably come back like right before I take my makeup off and do one more check-in. Gotta work with what you have. I still don't have a ring light yet, so we just have to work with what we got. Okay, so here is what my skin looks like about 3 hours later. As you can see, it still looks pretty good. It has worn off just a little bit on like my cupid's bow just because my puppy was giving me kisses, but other than that, it's pretty much just stayed in place. Maybe a little bit on my chin area and that little lovely friend that we have growing there. But everything else looks really good, so I'm really happy with it so far. So yay Milani! First Milani makeup product, and I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so that was my quick little check-in. I will come at you guys one last time and give my final thoughts on it and let you know how it looks a little bit later. So I will see you guys in just 1 second. Bye! Hey guys, so I am back to do my final check-in on the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. It is currently 7:58, so I've had this foundation on for almost a full 7 hours now, and honestly, this is probably one of my new favorite foundations. Yes, you can very obviously tell that I am a little bit on the shiny side and still kind of oily. Sorry about the lighting, it's making me look a little bit more oily than I actually am, just from like the highlight and just the harsh lighting and things like that. But yeah, basically the foundation has literally stayed the exact same. It has not worn off at all. It still feels a little bit tacky. That's probably like my one thing that I don't like about it, is this foundation does feel a little bit on the tacky side on the skin. So if you're someone out there who has not tried this foundation yet, I highly recommend that you do. This is like an excellent drugstore foundation, and I love finding drugstore makeup that I love. You guys know, if you followed me for a very long time, you know that I am a huge diehard fan of drugstore makeup because that's just what I've always liked, because I've always been able to afford it. So that is everything that I have for this first impressions. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give a huge thumbs up and don't forget to go down and subscribe to my channel. And if you are subscribed to my channel, make sure that you go and check that you still are. Just because with all the issues going on with YouTube, I want to make sure that you guys are still a part of the family and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's all I have for now. I will see you guys very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!